Hey guys, welcome back to Furniture Flipping Teacher. If you're new here, my name is Lauren. I am here to show you how I take old and outdated furniture and give it a new purpose and a new life in hopes to inspire a creative way for you to do the same thing, whether it be a piece in your own house or whether it be pieces that you find that you want to recreate and sell for an extra income. Today I'm going to be flipping these 4 pieces of furniture. I've got a tall chest, I've got a dresser, and I've got 2 nightstands. And I found these at Goodwill for just $130 for the set. With this being solid wood, I truly could not pass up this full set. And you guys know how much I love doing sets, so I'm really excited. And I'm also really excited, and I want to thank Wagner for sponsoring this video and for creating this amazing sprayer that's going to help me get this furniture project done a lot quicker than I would if I were just using a brush. So let's get to step number 1 of removing the hardware. This set is majorly outdated and it has these floral pieces on there and these knobs. Well, usually with these wooden knobs, I just get rid of them completely, but I am thinking that I have just so many wooden knobs that I want to see if I can keep these and basically just update them to go along with the final look of the whole set. So stay tuned, keep on watching, because I've got a couple of ideas on how we can update these to match. So that means that I'm going to remove them, but I'm also going to keep them in a bucket so I don't lose any of them. Whew. 29 pieces of hardware later, I am finished, and now it's time for cleaning. I'm going to be using Dawn dish soap for cleaning today. So I've got my double bucket here. One side's got the cleaner, and then the other side is my rinsing water so that I can get all that soap residue off. Having the option of my double bucket here because I can have both my cleaning water and my rinsing water at the same time. And sometimes when the weather is more humid and hot, the soap or the cleaner dries really quickly. And so before it dries, I like to go ahead and just rinse it all down. So that's what I did on this one. I washed it all and then I rinsed it all. And now I'm moving on to this piece. And you might find that more helpful for you as well. And then of course, remember the reason that we do clean is just to get all that dirt and grime and grease and oil off of it from its previous use. All 4 pieces are clean. As you can tell, with the more pieces you've got, the more time that each step is going to take you. But we are going to be eliminating some of that time with the Wagner sprayer. You guys, I'm really excited because I'm going to be trying my first time achieving the Rustoleum smoked glaze look with the Wagner sprayer. So I know how much you guys love that look of the furniture that I do, and I love it too. So I am excited to try and see if I can make that go just a little bit faster. But for now, it's time for sanding. We're ready for sanding. I've got my mask here, and then I've got my Surf Prep sander. finisher, and this is going to be a 220 grit because all I'm doing is I'm roughening up the surface. It's pretty smooth and glossy, so I just want to give it some texture so that paint will adhere when I spray it on. And we're just gonna go ahead and mask up and get started. All of the tools that I use in this video will be linked down below in the description if you're interested in any of them. Before we get into the spraying portion of the Rustoleum look. So I'm going to do things a little bit differently than I've done in the past because I've seen others leave the drawers in and still spray their pieces. I think I'm just going to pull them out a tad bit, but first we're going to focus on the tops. I want to spray the tops gray first with the aged gray, and then I'm going to cover the tops and we'll spray the linen white on the rest of them. So I've got some bigger pieces. Well, they're actually plastic trash bags, but I'm gonna just be kind of cutting them apart and making them cover up the spots where I'm gonna be painting white, so that way we can paint gray. And then I've also got my frog tape as well. To work and really help me get all of these evenly. And now it's time to fill up the sprayer. I'm going to be using my Wagner large tent, which is a spray booth, and it is just for extra protection from overspray. So although we've got our big workshop, I don't want the spray paint going everywhere. So this is just going to protect it from going anywhere except for on my furniture. This is a huge perk of the Wagner brand. They've got a smaller one and they've also got the larger one, so it really gives you the opportunity to spray wherever you are. With the Wagner, I've got the Wagner Flexio 4000, and there's several different models, but they all pretty much do about the same thing. And then I'm going to be using my detailed nozzle, which is the one that you'll use if you're refinishing furniture. I've got my settings all set up, and basically what you do is you just need to test your spray. So I just used this spray gun yesterday, so I've got it all set up to where I need it to be. And then of course, do not forget to wear your respirator. Whether it's the type that I wear when I'm sanding or this type, you need to protect yourself from that paint spraying. I love furniture refinishing, but not enough to mess up my lungs. first coat of gray is on, and I did kind of like multiple swipes over as I was going instead of just one swipe over. So we'll see. I'm pretty sure I'm going to need a second coat on all of the grays, but then we'll be able to move on to the white. So this really worked out. I think it's going to work out really nicely with that sprayer. It just, you know, it didn't take me very long to coat all of those hardware pieces, and it's the same paint that I'm using in the furniture on the tops. So I think that it'll really pull together well, and it was a lot faster with my sprayer. We got the second coat of paint on last night of the top, so the gray is finished. So now it's time to move on to the bases. And so what I need to do is I need to cover the tops so that those don't get any white on them. I'm gonna try an idea that Neiman had, just to undo it from the bottom and kind of fold it over. We'll see if that works. I'm not sure, since the tape is sticking to the base of it right now. I'm not sure if it'll work, but I'm gonna try it out. It's like kind of working, but I just think since the paint is flaking off, I just don't think it's gonna work out how we planned. So I'm just gonna redo it. I'm gonna get rid of this and then get some paper out. I got all the tops wrapped, so we're ready to fill up the paint sprayer. Got my strainer here, and then I'm gonna use Rustoleum's Linen White. So we're just gonna dump that in there. I'm gonna be using a lot more than I did with the gray, so I'm gonna be probably dumping and filling this entire canister here. So remember, you want to strain the paint so that any of the chunks that may just be inside of the can from it drying, if you've used it before, you just need to get all those out, and that way it flows well through the sprayer. I want to get enough paint in here to at least do the first coat of all 4 pieces, and then I can do some refilling for the second coat and possible third coat. And you know, this might be enough for first and second coat. I really am not sure how it's, I mean, I know it's gonna spray well, but I'm not for sure how it's going to cover, if it's gonna cover it well, or if I'm gonna need, you know, more and more coats with the sprayer. I don't think I've sprayed white yet. I've sprayed the cream, and that was Dixie Belle. So this is another paint brand, trying out something new. You guys know I always like to switch it up for you so that I can share my experiences with you, so that if you like a certain type of paint, then I can try it out for you. And then I also like to stir it in the canister just to mix it all together, get it that great consistency. I did add some water, so it's just a little bit less thick than it was before. So I do recommend getting at least 2 detail nozzles. The whole package comes with 1, but definitely get another one, and then even a third. I have a third one. That just helps you if you're gonna be doing multiple colors, especially. Obviously today is a little different for me because I did 1 color yesterday, and so I had to clean out my sprayer. But if I am doing multiple colors, then I tend to want to keep the different nozzles for the different colors, keep one for top coat, and so on. Time to mask up and get to spraying. number 1 of the white. Get this off. The coverage is looking pretty good. Definitely gonna need another coat, possibly a third coat. Again, I really won't know until coat number 2 goes on. With whites, it tends to need, you know, that full coverage at 3 coats. So hopefully 2 coats will do with the sprayer, but we'll see. Alrighty, we are finished with the sprayer. Looks like it's only gonna take 2 coats, and there's really awesome coverage. It's drying pretty nice. And so my last step here is gonna be to let it dry, obviously, and then I'm gonna take the tops off and we're gonna apply the smoked glaze. I just poured all the excess paint back into the can, so I'm gonna go wash this out now. So I'm cleaning out the sprayer. It's really not that big of a deal to clean it out. It's an extra step, yeah, but you also have to clean out brushes and things like that when you use them. I would just make sure that you're cleaning out your sprayer as you use it, so that way the paint doesn't dry in there. I tend to clean it out immediately after I'm done, before I even clean up my workspace. So I just want to make sure all that paint is out there, out of this canister. The Wagner comes with a little scrubby brush that fits inside of the straw, so you can get it down in there and it'll help you get the paint loose and just scrub it out. This is just a really good practice to continue on with your Wagner sprayer if you have it, or any sprayer really, because you know, it is a big investment, but it's worth it. But we also want to take care of the big investment so that we can get a return on our investment at the end of the day. And then I've also got my Dawn dish soap. Shout outs to Christina, she made me do it. It's just, you know, I'm always using Dawn dish soap, so might as well get the big one, and I got it at Sam's Club. All right, so just like that, everything is clean, and then I just kind of have a towel here that I'll let everything dry for a while. Before I put everything back together, I just want to make sure that it's dry. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for, smoked glaze. Alrighty, I just wanted to talk real quick before we do this smoked glaze about me leaving the drawers in when I used the sprayer. So usually, as you guys have seen, I take the drawers all out and then I wrap them and all of that. Well, I just wanted to try it since other people I've seen haven't needed to take their drawers out. And I think, you know, it really worked. I got really great coverage on all of the drawers, and I didn't really see a need to take them out. I didn't have to do too many touch-up spots with my brush a little bit after, but all in all, I think that this will be something that I definitely continue doing, is leaving them in there. And that just saves so much more time as well. Next time, I think I'll also, you know, tape off the edges of the drawers. That way I don't get too much overspray on there. But for the most part, I really liked this method, and it really saved a lot of time. Smoked glaze. I'm gonna be using my lint-free cloth to apply the smoked glaze, and then I'm also gonna be using another lint-free cloth to wipe it back. So I'm just gonna, I wanna show you the smoked glaze in case you haven't seen it before. I've used it a few times on my channel. This is actually the first product that I use. This is the first type of paint that I use, the white with the gray top with the smoked glaze. So just bringing it back to my original roots and using the smoked glaze. It's definitely one of my favorite looks to complete. It's not necessarily my favorite style of furniture, but I don't know, it just kind of goes hand in hand with bedroom sets. I feel the more neutral you are, the more quickly things sell. And so we're gonna soak this lint-free cloth, and then we're just gonna rub it on. The smoked glaze really reminds me of a stain-like substance where it's just very liquidy, and then you can apply it with a rag. I'm gonna get all the way down around the edges, and then I'm gonna take my clean lint-free cloth and go all the way across just to make nice and even strokes and to wipe back the excess. We don't want it to be too dark, and it's also not really meant to be perfect across the top. You know, there will be some lighter spots, there will be some darker spots, and that's all okay. You just want to make it as consistent as possible across the whole thing. Alrighty, we're complete on that one. So now we're gonna move on to the other three. Now the last step for the Rustoleum smoked glaze is to head over and do the hardware. We're ready to go ahead and attach the hardware, and I'm doing something a little bit different than I normally do, but since I painted the hardware as well as the whole piece, I'm gonna attach the hardware and then do the top coat. That way the top coat gets all over them. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. There's 29 pieces, so it's gonna take me just a little while, but we're gonna get through it. And then we'll also be able to see here what the hardware is gonna look like. I am very pleased and satisfied with the look of that hardware. Again, it's the right size, it's the right color to match the top. It's just all coming together, and I am very pleased with the results. That's a wrap on hardware installation, and it looks amazing. Things are coming together in full force. We've got one more step left. I'm gonna go grab my tent again and fill up my spray gun with the matte clear coat from Rustoleum, and then we're gonna go ahead and spray all 4 pieces. I'm going to strain the top coat just like I have every other material that I've used in my sprayer. It gets hotter as it goes throughout the day, that's for sure. But we are officially finished with this set, other than taking photos to post for sale. So I'm loving how it turned out. I hope you guys do too. Let's head over to the staging wall. Wow, this project was so much fun because I went back to my roots and I was able to recreate this smoked glaze look with the Wagner sprayer. I love how I was able to use the sprayer not only on the base and the tops of the dressers, but also on the handles. I think that the handles being incorporated still really kept this piece the way that it was, but yet still giving it a new life. And I really wanted to show you guys that you don't always have to have the fancy hardware and the fancy things. Just painting and updating the original hardware sometimes is all you need to do, and then you can save money in the end with your profit. So that brings me to talk about the profit. Well, I haven't gotten a profit yet, but I do have this whole set listed at $675 on Facebook Marketplace, and I have had it listed on there for about 5 days now, maybe 6 days now, and I've gotten actually a ton of interest, but I think because the price asking point is pretty high, which I'm actually kind of judging to see what I can get out of this set, because it is solid wood and it's a 4-piece set, so it would really just make a bedroom look awesome. Well, at that $675 mark, I've gotten a couple people that just want the nightstands. I've actually gotten one person that just wants the 2 larger dressers, but we weren't able to agree on a price point for those. And I really didn't want to separate them unless I'm separating with 2 parties that I know for sure are going to be purchasing, because I really want to keep it together so I can get the most profit out of it. I have someone that lives an hour away, and they're going to be coming tomorrow afternoon. So they're going to come and check it out, and hopefully they go away with it, because I mean, it's an hour away, so usually, you know, if they're driving long distances, knock on wood, usually they will go away with it. Cross your fingers, give me some good vibes that we're gonna get our full asking price out of this. You know, I would have sold it probably a few times now. People are asking me $400 and $500, even $300, but I'm just not ready to budge on that price yet. So I'm gonna keep on waiting, being patient, trying to get the most bang for my buck, because this project, although the Wagner made it much easier and quicker because it was so many pieces of furniture, it still took a lot of work, and you just got to remember that you need to treat yourself right, and you need to make sure that you're waiting patiently for those large profits. Make sure you head over to Instagram and be sure to follow us at Furniture Flipping Teacher to see when we sell this and if we sell it tomorrow. We'll also try to give an update on our YouTube community post, because I know some of you don't have that Instagram account. So be sure to get subscribed down below, both here on our FFT channel, but also we've got a new vlog channel over, and it's called The Flip Side with Lauren and Neiman. I just want to shout out Wagner one more time for sponsoring this video and for making that amazing sprayer. I was using the Flexio 4000, so be sure to head over to Amazon to get your Wagner sprayer, and let me know down in the comments what project you are working on and which project you might want to use with your Wagner Flexio sprayer. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you on the flip side.